Excuse
Hello
me,
and welcome to the Pine League Round 1. We are here in the main group stages. Last week we just finished with our qualifiers and we now have our top 8 teams. And my name is IRequestADuel, otherwise known as Delta Barker, and joining me today to cast alongside me I have SLlCE.
So, hi guys, welcome to Pine League Round Robin Round 1, which is the first series of matches of Pine League this month. And tonight we got some really interesting matches. We got Road of Rogues versus Team KDA coming up first in the best of 3, followed by Upholders and SLlCE at 8:30 p.m.
Yep, and just going over the other teams there, at least for today, what we can expect, because this will be round 1 of the round robin kind of format. So that means the teams will actually be fighting for points. And I believe it actually might be best of 2. I'll just get confirmation on that in a second.
Best
But
of 3.
yeah, so they will be earning the points through that. And this is going to be the first weekend Saturday match is going to be Root of Rogues, as you mentioned, Team KDA, and then after that we're going to see Upholders go up against SLlCE, and tomorrow, if you tune in, you will see Astral Esports going up against Neko Faction and Fearless against Team Evo X. But just to give you a quick rundown on where they stand in terms of seeding coming in here, we've got Astral as the number 1 seed, Team Fearless as second, Team Evo X as third, Team KDA as fourth, Upholders as fifth. Neko Faction, who were the first place winners in the qualifiers last weekend, and then Root of Rogues, who came second to that, and SLlCE, who got the third place in their securing their spot into this main group. So looking closer into match 1, we do have Root of Rogues going up against Team KDA. So on the side of Root of Rogues, we have Escanor, Sargibson, Frankenstein, The Slashing, Arrow, and Mixmax. And I'm sure, SLlCE, you would know who's on Team KDA, so I'll pass it off to you to introduce them.
There's me, Bombination, Yukino, Rose, Blair, and Fenglin. And tonight we are gonna watch these two teams go head to head for the first match of Pine League, like the league itself, basically. So back to you.
Yeah, well, so Root of Rogues we got to see, well, I personally got to see for the first time last weekend in the qualifiers. I believe they secured second place up against Neko Faction. And yeah, generally, like, I think it's the second game, they really went fairly even against Neko Faction, and it could have been anyone's game, to be honest. And it is kind of something that's going to be new to me. I've seen some of these players, obviously, throughout, like, solo queue, throughout ranked, and so on. And yeah, I'm just gonna have to see how it goes. It's another one of those things that where in that first week, the stage of things, we're gonna have to see how these qualifying teams go up against those already top seeded teams. See if they really are able to prove why they got here in the first place. Oh well, here we go. We are in the draft for the first match. KDA on the blue side, in fact, and that's going to be Rue of Rogues over on the red side. So, start things off, let's see where this ban goes. So, we were talking about meta just previously, expected bans being bad, like Samfang, Grumpjaw. Yates is still like a decent ban, but you can see here, they're going to go for the Samfang ban because I think a likely kind of plan would be to try leave Magnus open if you're on blue side. So, there's going to be the Baron ban in return by Rue of Rogues. Next ban, if I was to say anything, maybe a Grumpjaw, maybe, maybe I've seen some people considering banning Anka. What do you think? Or they could go for the Magnus ban, but I
Ooh,
really don't
Anka.
see why, when you're on the blue side, to go for the Magnus ban.
So I did a bit of research on some of the members on different teams in this tournament, right? So Anka is, I think, the most commonly used by Gatorex. He plays Anka with Team Evo X, which we will see tomorrow in the tournament.
Oh,
So what Gatorex team relies on is mostly them hyper feeding him, right? So Anka, so when he becomes a super fat Anka or Reza, it's pretty much game over
Yeah.
when that happens.
Yeah, well, here we see they ended up going for the Reza ban instead. Reza, another one of those really strong picks, and it's this kind of draft strategy we talked about before. If you're on A side, you don't have to ban the most OP heroes. You can just go for priority heroes instead, and then hopefully leave an OP pick open, which in return they got Grumpjaw, but to that, Root of Rogues have picked up Lance and Yates, so that's going to be top Lance, Captain Yates most likely. We also saw this, I think, by GG second new type in WESG. However, I sadly GG second new type not able to win it out. But Celeste still a very strong mid laner. I would say when I can't play Magnus, I am more than likely going to pick up that Celeste because when it comes to late game, she still has that potential, and especially it's more her kit just works really well, and having that hard CC in the kit. And now another pick that is on the priority list and on the strong side. I'm not sure if I'd call him OP, but Adagio can be very strong. And even we have seen it last weekend, whereas even Adagio bottom just for that sustain or something.
So we are gonna see Samuel being picked up on the set of Root of Rogues. We have seen Frankenstein going on Samuel in rank, and I think last week there was a game that Frankenstein went Samuel, right? Was that? Could you remember that?
Not too yeah, we definitely saw Samuel last week. And I feel
But
like
easy rank.
Samuel is, I'm not too sure who played it, but Samuel really is the kind of answer a lot of players will pick when Celeste is picked. He has that really good AoE damage and that level 2 power spike once he's able to get empowered Malice and Verdicts. And here we go again, we get to see the Sky being played. I'm more than happy to see that, but as it is going to be on Fendling, it could possibly be a weapon. And honestly, it's not just my own, like, not really liking Weapons Sky and liking the playstyle. I think it used to be good, but currently I don't really think it fits too well into the ban. I think CP
Ooh.
works out a lot better, but, you know, could always be a CP bot lane. And there's going to be that anchor we were talking about earlier.
Interestingly, Tony is picked up right here.
Oh,
So Tony
I did not even see Tony.
so Tony wasn't really much of a hero. Like, though I haven't seen Tony for almost two patches or three. I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
But
it's been a while.
the last time I saw Tony was only like just now when EU used Tony against the South Americans. So Tony is actually a really good hero, honestly, because all of his abilities are one form of CC or another. So he has that stun, he has ability that can basically lock heroes in place.
Oh, 1 second. We might have to have a restart, and I deeply apologize. Okay, so I apologize to all the viewers and to the players. We had some technical issues going on there, but we are back into the match. Just took a while. We need to try contact some people to make sure we were able to get this sorted again. But as we are here, we are in the first match of round 1. That is between Root of Rogues and Team KDA. So actually Team KDA being on the blue side this time, correct?
Yes,
Yep.
they're on the blue side.
And Root of Rogues over on the red. So once again, apologies, but thank you to everyone who waited through with us. And thank you to the players for getting back into this one. We didn't want you guys to miss out on the action. So here we are. And yeah, back into it. So interesting pick so far we can see is that Tony. So jungle Tony is it gonna be, or is that support Tony? I mean, he has flares for his first item.
Actually, I want to look at what Blair has bought. Blair is playing Rome Tony, and he. Oh yeah, you're talking about Blair. I thought you were talking about Arrow. All right, so Blair has bought Flare, which is a very uncommon item for roamers to buy first in the 5v5 mode. Like roamers will usually start with maybe an old card, which is a very common starting item for roamers, but Blair instead goes for a flare gun, and I think maybe he wants to provide a little safety. He doesn't want his teammates to get pulled out of nowhere by arrow. So I think flare gun might be a reasonable pick if he knows how to use it correctly.
Yep, and it's just strange. Like, I understand Tony, he has the stun available to him, he's tanky. I guess it makes sense, right? But at the same time, it's just something so off meta. Maybe you'll even catch the side of Rue of Rogues off guard. But surely there were better picks. Like whenever you're going up against a Yates, and we know Yates was the second pick coming through for Rue of Rogues. But why didn't they go with, say, a Finn instead to be able to buy block those Wolf's Maws?
Well, also, like during the draft phase, I thought that maybe KDA allowed Yates through because they know that Finn is going to be open and they want to pick up Finn for themselves. So,
well, up in the top lane, gonna have to stop you there for a second. Is Escanor going low, but Yukino gonna be possibly the first one to take first blood. And they're trying to run away from them, but right now Rose has nothing to save them, and that's going to be a 3v2 situation where they're able to pick that up. But the Grumpjaw, you can see why Grumpjaw is one of those bans for the damage he can put out, as well as how tanky he is, but not too sure how he's going to go in a 3v1 situation. Going to get taken out by the Gwen, so that's 2 kills now over to the side of Root of Rogues. So, taking the lead here in this match. But then, meanwhile, over on the bot lane, we do have Tony getting caught in that impale. Needs to be careful there.
So right now we are looking at mid lane Frankenstein being pushed under his turret right now by Bombination Arrow coming in to help Frankenstein and push Bombination back down the mid lane. So Arrow trying to look for a pull. Bombination goes into the core collapse. Arrow misses the pull. And that's not going to connect on Bombination. He's still safe for now.
So, but here comes Blow. And I'm really interested to see how this Tony is going to work out. I suppose you could consider his ult. It's a bit... it would be good for getting the enemy off of your carries, I suppose, but gets caught up in that stun. Now going to be chased down with Samuel pushing through with the Drifting Dark, and we see that Rose joining in the fight. Going to jump onto Frankenstein, but slashing, going to find the kill onto the Tony, and there's going to be the return kill, taking out Anka. She went in a bit too deep, a bit too low. So right now, Arrow fairly low in the mid lane. Rose coming around the side here, looking for a possible gank into mid. Just needs those minions pushed under tower, but instead is going to go down bot lane, see if they can maybe help out Fengling over against Lance. Mix-max on that Lance. They're going to get slowed down, and there's going to be the kill being picked up by Rose. So really coming back into this game for Team KDA. 2-3 now, and... they actually have taken the gold lead for themselves, 13.2 over to 12.2, so 1k ahead to start things off with.
And now in the bot lane, we see Feng Lin and Rose trying to push that turret, slashing in Arrow, trying to look out for a low.
Over back. 50%. Oh, and they get it. Arrow not quite able to land that auto.
And we see Adagio backing off. Escanor just trying to clear his lane right now. So everything seems to be doing really good right now on both sides, and the goal lead isn't that big right now. Yeah. However, what do you feel about Escanor this time? Like, he's playing Gwen into Adagio at his bot lane. How do you think his matchup will go later into the game, and what are your thoughts of it?
Ooh, 1 second, I'll hold my thoughts there because I was actually focusing on Blau and Miss Tony, trying to get understanding, trying to get a feel for it. But it's been so long since as you said, since we've seen Tony be played. Here comes Anka, gonna get the clean up there. But I was just thinking, okay, maybe he's not as bad, but now my thoughts are being swayed in the other direction once more. Bommy being pressured under tower there. Anka gonna go in with the ult. Here comes Rose to try save him. Core collapse lands. There's gonna be the Solar Storm to pick up the kill. Oblivion doesn't sleep, and they actually almost clip Frankenstein on the end of that one if Rose wants to go in. There's gonna be Yates back and gets caught out by the camera, but Rose not gonna be able to pick up that kill. Meanwhile, we can go up to that top lane matchup you were talking about with Escanor and Yukino. As I said, like, I think Adagio is more the problem here. Like, Gwen is a strong laner and has a really nice kit, but going up against this Adagio is definitely going to be tough in the early stages. So it's probably going to come down to team fights later on where we'll have to see just how good either pick is going into this. But Ro's going to come alongside, try put some pressure on them, but meanwhile, pressure being put on the bot lane. Fenglin and Blau do catch out the Yates, who's roaming down, managed to get the back thanks to good use of vision right now in that river. So back up to top where we do see Rose, Yukino almost getting this tower. They might be able to take it, and that's going to be the first tower of the game going down in favor of Team KDA. They get the stuffed, and looks like it should be a secure kill onto Escanor. Verse of Judgment for just a good measure, and they delete them, locking the game 4-4, but in fact having the gold lead in KDA's favor, 20.9 over to 17.8. So as you said, what was at the start of the game a small lead is now actually substantially growing in favor of KDA, even though the kills actually even. Here comes Anka down to the bot lane. The damage onto Fenglin. The Impale going to land onto Blau, but he turns around with that stun. There's going to be the ult to knock them out of there, and they should be fairly safe for now.
I feel the Tony pick right now,
I take back my words. They're not safe quite yet. Slashing gets caught out. Mixmac's gonna dodge out the death from above with Impale, but there's nowhere to run. And now is rarely Team KDA turning this one around, as Samuel also getting taken out in the mid lane. So dominating everywhere. And this is a really good position for Team KDA to be in, as it now opens up Ghostwing for them. They're taking out the mid laner, they've taken out the bot lane, and they just got themselves a bot tower. And Adagio more than safely going to be able to rotate up to the top there. So, yeah, I mean, you asked me before, how do I feel about the matchups? I was worried mostly for KDA's sake. Oh my god. Yates coming in with the yeet, but he doesn't get the Sky on first contact. He does finish the kill, though. Ghostwing still going to go over to Team KDA. But as I said, KDA surprising me here with their team comp, but still managing to win this one out just of, it could be, I guess, play mechanics and stuff. And yeah, well, I guess I don't have a moment to stop and breathe as we see Slashing almost taking down Yukino, but there's going to be the Reverse of Judgment for the fortified health. They do get taken down in the end by Samuel Frankenstein. They're going to be running out with the boots. Solar Storm not going to connect. My camera work is everywhere. They managed to spam out, but they probably can't go in much deeper right now. Badaboom is up. We might see Blur use it in last-ditch effort, but he's going low. Could get taken down. Rose going to go in with his stuffed and is able to spit them out. Death from above catches out the Yates. There's going to be the kill. Frankenstein now pulling down the Drifting Dark. Might be able to pick up Blau. Rose needs to be careful on the edge there. One buckshot might take them out. They're going to be able to back off from this fight. Hopefully, Core Collapse lands onto the Gwen, and Rose goes in to help secure the kill. Slashing not going to be able to chase up on that one. And yeah, I'll leave it for you to talk, Slice. I feel like there's just so much action going on within these last few minutes. You can see that the bot lane getting pushed down by Lance. He's just decided to not be involved in these team fights and focus on objectives instead.
Looks like KDA is actually trying to make Tony Rome work out here. Like, Tony isn't even a common hero to be seen playing in other roles in SEA, not to even mention Rome. And right now, it seems like KDA Blewer actually knows how to play Tony Rome, which is really surprising here. And I feel that is a good thing about picking off meta picks, right? Like, your opponents don't know what they're going to expect of something like a Tony Rome. They have played against Yates, they have played against Arden, but what's Tony, right?
So, yeah, even we don't know what to expect with Tony Rome. But definitely, I think a strong component to KDA's team right now is that Grumpjaw, and this was a key part to, I think, Neko Faction's team with the roaming and ganking. Alongside that, Dajo is a strong sustain pick, which we talked about before. But looking over here, his team fight is going to break down as Lance getting a nice Giffian wall, stunning up a few members of KDA. And we're going to get a few picks there as they take down the Dajo and the Celeste. There's going to be Rose trying to run away, blow. Probably going to get the back, but they get ace high through the bush and then get pulled by the Yates for the kill. Slashing going to be able to run away from that one. Goes back in, though. A bit dangerous there, and Stuffed is going to land, but they get taken out as too much damage. Only one target for them to really go for, and Sky being the last one left on the team of KDA. So a chance for Root of Rogues to make a comeback here.
That was a really good team fight by Root of Rogues. Very nice execution right there. And I think that might be the fight they need to slowly start pushing for comeback, like you said, Delta. And Sky is just gonna clear top lane right now. Both on the side of Root of Rogues, they didn't really went to look for Ghost Wing, so might that might have been a potential Ghost Wing right there, but
Ooh, looks like Gwen gonna get caught out in the top lane. Mixmax possibly as well, but Fenglin not able to land that for barrage. And in fact, it is the weapon Sky doing all right there, but they get caught out with the Giffian wall there. The target lock not going to go on and jump in under tower, get pulled back in, but they should be safe for now. Now the question is, Blackclaw is up. We'll see them get vision over it. Might not go for it just yet, but no, in fact, they decide they are going to go for it, whether it gets contested or not. Mixmax probably going to be able to get the camera into the Ghost Wing pit, and they do have vision over it right now. There's going to be Anka with the A, probably going to go in a second, and they go contest it, but Celeste going to be able to pick up that Blackclaw, and that's going to be Lance going low. Anka already deleted from the fight, and we see the next target being Yates, just slowed down in that front line. No escape there. Solar Storm comes on through big, taking a decent chunk out Frankenstein's health, and there's going to be Feng Ling chasing them down under turret. So far, no ace, but they do have a Blackclaw on their side, taking down that first mid turret. Probably going to get a second. Looking at the death timers, I would say it's unlikely for them to get third, but the most likely tactic could just be going to take the enemy jungle or Ghost Wing after this, and they're going topside right now to clear that Gold Oak and red buff. But Root of Rogues deciding to fight this one instead of going for the dragon, are going to go on through. Anka dives in deep, gets a kill onto the Dajo, gets a reset now. Should be able to chase down Blower, but Blower being the Rome is fairly tanky. Meanwhile, Feng Lin left on their own, and they are going to fight this one out, almost picking up the Samuel, and you could see Anka managing to get the Tony over. Meanwhile, can Feng Ling do it? They are going to not be... No, they get it. The shutdown. The minions are there. The Captain Wave, in fact, going to be able to do a lot of damage. And we do see the slashing might get caught out in the enemy jungle here. The question is whether they want to fight this one. They are going to back off for now, respecting the damage coming out from Bommy here, and Rose joining in. So making sure they don't get caught out, lose any more, because, in fact, I would say Root of Rogues playing pretty smart there. By playing aggressive into the enemy team, they didn't allow KDA to just get away with the jungle for free and not get anything in return.
I actually want to take a look at what Blaver has built on this roam, Tony. So he didn't build Fountain, he didn't build Crucible. He has a flare gun, he has a war chest, and then he built himself a Celestial Shroud. And that's a very interesting...
Ooh, look at the Versa Judgment going down, but they get pushed back, and there's going to be the Crucible coming through. The Taunt into the Solar Storm. They're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Anka. And now we see that Mixmax going low. Needs to be careful, but he goes back in, gets the Impale. There's going to be the Fountain, but it's not enough to save him. And now Lance going to get caught out in return for that one. Beautiful stuffed into the death from above. And they're going to chase down for the kill onto this Yates. Double kill for Sky, and a double kill for the Celeste. An ace for Team KDA, and they're going to be pushing on through to this tier 3 tower, or they're just going to let the minions do it. Let's see. Decision leaving Yukino with the push. They do have the range there, so smart decision, and let Rose start up the Ghost Wing because they are able to tank that one up, and we can see that base tower in the mid gets taken down. should see the rotation back to Rose now to make sure they secure that Ghost Wing. And this way they actually get all team members up with the Ghost Wing buff. So fairly well played up to this point by KDA, but Real Rogues still holding on, and there's still a chance for them.
So I want to talk about like how KDA split their members to do different tasks at the same time. You got two members clearing a turret, one member clearing top lane, and then someone soloing Ghost Wing.
Yep.
Let's talk
Oh
about
my
first.
God. Once again, the engagement coming through with that verse of judgment, but this time Team KDA going low, and there's going to be the Githian wall. Catches out SLlCE. Bad positioning there, as they're not really with any of that team. There's going to be the A over the wall from the Anka, and they use the block there as they realize it's actually a bit tankier than they thought. Once again, this Tony, he's kind of a tricky one because you don't expect it, and there's going to be the Samuel getting caught out after being in the stuff. Impale lands onto two people, but it's not really going to have any follow-up damage, as only the slashing is there for them, and Arrow being the last one left. He is the support, not too much he can do except try and stay alive, but Escanor getting that respawn is going to come in onto Feng Ling, who gets caught out there. And you see Adagio trying to heal them through this, and are they able to? Feng Ling going to survive this one, and it's going to be the bait into the ace as Team KDA taking it home once again. Moving on to this bot tier 3 tower, they could even just push into the enemy armory in mid, but no, they're going to be sure to take this one down too. They might even take 2 armories if they want to, but they could even end the game. 17 seconds on the Gwen. We'll have to see what happens here as Anka joins back into the fight, misses the A, and they're just going for the crystal. They're going to take game 1 here if Root of Rogues can't do something soon, and it looks like they will. That's going to be game number 1 going over to Team KDA. And wow, what a game, and what a surprise with that Tony pick. Otherwise, I would say that team comp very much on meta and very well played.
At a moment during the match, like that return fight, I thought that Root of Rogues was gonna look for a comeback soon enough, but KDA able to get their members and regroup and like capture the game itself. So that's really good job by KDA. And right now we have seen quite an interesting draft. So I'm wondering what Root of Rogues might try to use next against KDA. Would they use the Anka next, or would they go for another jungler? What do you think?
Yeah, you saw a lot of situations there where, like, early on, Anka is quite strong because, like, just her perk, and they're quite squishy. But to the late game, Tony was just too tanky for it to deal with. And into a team comp like that, you've also got to worry about Sky's able to avoid you very easily if she has target lock. And Grumpjaw is going to be another one of those tanks, but he also does a heck ton of damage. And that's why I say Grumpjaw ban is a serious ban to go with. And Adagio is going to be there to get that I forget the name of it, but the arcane fire onto you. And it's just a dangerous situation to put yourself in, especially if the rest of your team can't commit. And I think that is where Rule of Rogues kind of fell apart. A lot of the time, their composition in a team fight in terms of their positioning wasn't so good. Whereas their draft, they actually have a decent draft set up for them with some decent CC in the kit. It's just
Yeah.
about that synergy that was missing there. We did see Team KDA towards the end there almost slip up in the bot lane, and Gwen came in to try and capitalize on that, but they actually managed to turn it around and end the game off of that. So, yeah, it's just very... Ooh, I would say Rule of Rogues need to work more so on... Let's say the... Oh, one sec. Just got kicked out.
Get back into the party.
Yeah, need to work on their positioning in team fights. I think that's kind of important, and when they go in, because a lot of the time we see these single players going in alone, but not really having the backup they need to be successful. So that's my take on that. But yeah, we'll jump straight into the second draft and probably talk more over it as we go through this draft, since we are actually behind schedule. But now it's going to be game 2. KDA took the first point. Who's going to secure the second point here between these two teams?
So right now we see the Slash singing, banning out Magnus right now, and Feng Lin thinking about what he wants to ban out right now. They are looking between Sun Feng and Yates or Baron. And looks like Feng Lin decides to ban out
Hmm.
Baron.
Now, I really, as I mentioned before, I do not believe in the Magnus A side ban. I believe Magnus is so strong if you can get him to the late game that whenever you're on A side, you should leave him open. But maybe they're not comfortable with it. Maybe, as we saw before, Samuel was played in the mid lane previously. So we're going to see that Magnus ban followed up by the Grumpjaw. So I respect that there. Rue of Rogues realizing the Grumpjaw was a real threat on the side of KDA. And obviously for red side, they're like, we do not want them to have Sam Feng, and we're going to ban Baron. So in return to that, they managed to pick up Reza and Adagio. So Adagio once again being in the hands of KDA, and we'll see Yates and Celeste over on the side of Rue of Rogues. So far, so good. But was there anything that stood out to you in that last game that you think either team should change up, or more so for Root of Rogues?
For Root of Rogues, what was missing last game was more of that. So basically, Anka went in, right? But the problem with Anka diving was okay. So the problem with KDA was there were they were quite squishy. So if Anka goes in, fan of knives,
I
combos.
would disagree there because they have the Adagio and they have the Grumpjaw and they have the Tony. And I feel like that is, as I explained before, I thought that was hard for Anka to actually dive in on most of the time.
But as we see, Feng Lin, when he gets caught, it's just done. So basically, Feng Lin win condition was don't catch me. And then right now, oh, we see Grace picked on the side of KDA. So Grace, we seen Grace throughout
Well,
this tournament yet?
Laura just likes to surprise us, doesn't he? He just likes to go ahead with these. I would say Grace is at least closer to meta than Tony by a mile. But Grace is definitely not one of the ones that we see too often in terms of taking a support role. But in that, I don't think it's bad. I think we might have seen one previously. The just the Holy Nova, the knockup is really good, as well as Benediction when you want to play aggressive and chase down. So it's really going to play well into a team like, say, Lance, who wants to dive into you. And once again, Anka, it's going to help counter that as well. So we'll have to see how that goes, but they need to be careful of the Silver Nail now in the hands of Rogues, because Silver Nail does provide that silence with the
Ooh.
tripwires. They need to respect that. Inara going to be the last pick, in fact, for Team KDA, and Blah actually going to play Inara this time, and Rogue's going to be taking.
Rominara? Are
Uh,
we looking at Rominara?
mm,
So if
do you
it will
think?
be actually really off meta
Well,
to
you
play
know
Rominara.
your team. Do you think that Blau will be changing roles, perhaps? Or do you think they are
I'm
going to
not
try
too
for that
sure.
Romanara? Because if we go again with what can Inara provide to the team as a support, I pretty much just see it as being her ultimate. That would be the only thing. Does she have the stun on the kickback if it lands into a wall?
Yes,
Yeah, but that's
if
very
you get
unlikely
kicked.
in the mid lane. It's like, what walls are there? So, hmm.
So my experience with Inara was once I was playing 3v3 and I always drafted Inara. The reason why Inara is so good is because if you can dash behind the enemy squishy and kick them out of position, that's game. If your team just jumps together at the same time. So that's the thing about Inara. But Blewer, I don't think Inara is something he has shown me yet so far. I've seen him play other roamers like Adagio or Arden, but he's really pulling out surprises today in this tournament. So I can't wait to see what Blewer pulls out and shows us with that roam Inara right there.
It is the Romanara as we see that first pick being the flare gun. So Blair just styling on people today, I guess. And I respect it. The off meta picks and making it work within the team. Really respect it there. And am interested to see how it goes. Start things off with, I guess we see Rose in the enemy jungle. Already, look at that vision control they have over the enemy jungle. They can see the enemy gold, enemy barrier tree, and they can even see Escanor down here in the bot lane whenever he is going to try and go up. And you can see Escanor already at half health. It's going to be a bit of trouble for him. Rose probably going to clear that camera on the way out, just to play it smart. And I'm wondering if, no, Fenling backing out there. Rose now coming up to the mid lane as Blower pushing them back into Frankenstein, and they're going to be able to pick up the first blood. Nice gank there, and even with the vision, they weren't ready for the Reza. Reza just too mobile and too quick, and we actually saw Reza banned out in the previous game. I believe that was a ban on the side of Rue of Rogues. Or, actually, no, KDA were on the blue side, and they decided to ban Reza out last game. But, I think it's a strong ban. Definitely worthy. Arrow coming down to the bot lane. But look at that knock up. The timing on it. They get the kill onto the Silver Nail. There's nothing Arrow can do. And he's going to even turn around because they know Rose is ready and waiting. And they're going to be able to pick up the kill onto Arrow most likely. Is Rose going to go for the chase? Gets the fire starter. But no, the Scorcher actually, and not going to be able to chase that down. But Yukino, the timing on that knock-up, they managed to stop Arrow right before the stun and turn around and just finish off Escanor. So, oh my god, what a start for Team KDA.
In top lane, Mix Max going a little low, slashing in, going in, trying to get a kill on Fengling. Fengling goes down. Mix Max getting away with a sliver of HP, slashing in, coming up to top lane at the right timing, and Blewer just a little below half HP, gonna decide to recall right there.
Root of Rogues not going home empty-handed with that one, making sure they get the trade out if they know that the enemy is concentrated in bottom lane. Smart plays to make that move up there, especially as you mentioned by slashing to get that gank off to help secure that kill over in top. So now 1-2. No gold lead this time. Both teams actually fairly even. So we'll see. Here's Arrow gets a pull into the stun. And not going to be able to get the chase down as Balmy already with... Those are actually only tier 1 boots, but able to use them to escape nevertheless. And so for now, the team's actually settling down. Arrow looking for a bit more aggression, though. Does get pushed back by the Inara, and you can kind of see that there. That does actually work fairly well as a disengage technique, and it's kind of similar to what Tony has when you think about... Tony has that with his ultimate, but instead Blower on this Inara is able to just do the kickback more frequently. So it could even be more useful in that sense. I think you're just losing out on obviously any damage you would get from the A. They get pulled in massive damage there coming off of Arrow. Rose going to jump in, try take down the return kill, but they get caught up in the core collapse. Frankenstein on that SLlCE going to be able to turn this one around most likely. Meanwhile, Yukino gets taken down. Yeah, I saw the Alpha dropping. Once again, ganked by slashing. So doing a good job there. And this time proving that the Anka pick, we talked about it, whether they would want to go Anka again, and it looks like they are definitely comfortable on it, so they're going to try and make it work this time. But I would say there are less barriers for Anka, and I mean, it's still the early game, so it's hard to say, but so far, Anka putting in the work they need for the team to help support those side lanes. And we're going to see them now just go back.
Actually, I want to talk about boots a bit because I see Frankenstein actually completing the Hell 7 charges first. Bombi did the same, and yeah, I just want to talk about like what is up with completing boots first. Like, why do you?
I completely know. This was actually seen in WESG. It is also, we talked a bit about it last week, at least I mentioned it, that, 1 sec, his blow gets pulled back in, but you can see that pushback being fairly useful. They're going to potion and use that boots to try to escape this one, slashing, going in deep for the kill, but they're not going to find it. Balmy keeping their teammates safe for now, seeing in the back line, making sure they land that poke damage, but Arrow probably going to position himself in a second to get another pull. Rose might be the target there. They get caught out in the stun, but the team isn't around to pick anything up. But let's hope no one gets taken out as we take a second to explain that. It's definitely the current meta is... I completely agree with rushing tier 3 boots. We see Inara right now actually buying war treads. And at least my understanding from it is for objectives, it is for dodging skill shots, and it is for uh, let me think. What was the other thing? For dodging ganks, as we've seen it being used already multiple times in the game. So that, alongside a common build, would be Stormguard Banner on multiple members of a team. But we're just going to see Yukino now. 1 second, as they're getting ganked down in the bot lane, uses the Divine Intervention on themselves. Is it going to be enough to get them out safely? It looks like Root of Rogue's going to back off there, but Yukino sticking around. Abomination does get spotted out there, but they're going to try go in for the chase. There's going to be the Dragon's Breath, but oh, the turnaround. They managed to get the kill somehow onto the Anchor, and Escanor left fairly low under their tower. Needs to be careful here. Looks like a rotation into the enemy jungle for now. Frankenstein going to get slightly ganked by Rose there, but I think they should be safe, as they actually back off to the top side of that river where Adagio and Bauer are coming down from. So, no, just be careful there. Bauer fairly low on HP. Could be a mistake there to not have gone back earlier, but look at their health. They're going to make it. Oh no, here comes the auto, and they managed to survive just barely, I guess, because their captain, playing Captain Inara, they had the HP to survive that. Actually, the shield we can see in their build right now. So yeah, currently free to free, fairly even game, and it's hard to call with this one as how back and forth it's going.
So right now we see 4-man rotation coming from KDA at mid.
Yeah, not really going to be able to get anything out of it for now, but Silvernail possibly going to get caught out. No, should be safe. Sorry about that. Camera is just having some issues. It is snapping to places that I'm not even moving it to. But we'll see here. Pretty much slow game for now. It is interesting compared to the other game. By this point in time, we actually had a lot more kills going over. But look at this, KDA making the rotation up. They do get spotted out by that camera, but they do find Mixmax as well. Don't think they'll be able to get the kill, but they should be able to steal some farm here, where the Mixmax is going to let them get away with it. Turns around for the Impale. Does steal one, but the heal is going to go over to Bomby and their vision of that crystal tree. And so it looks like they're going to try go in for the steal as Blower pushing back Frankenstein. Frankenstein trying to retreat, but they run through the goop. Well ignited. Here's going to be the Yates with the Yeet coming in, and he's not going to get the stun onto anyone, but Blur still in there. Gets the crystal buff for Bomby, actually. Surprisingly so. Not sure how they were able to snipe that, but they did. And now Rosehair in the mid lane as well. Gonna have to be careful. Ooh, yep. Slashing goes in, but actually gets turned on by the Scarf there with the Dragon's Breath. The Goop, is it going to be enough to kill? The Mortal Wound takes it. Rose going to be able to pick up that kill. And now KDA starting to get things rolling again. And Escanor in that bot lane, battling out with Yukino, and we see Rose coming down for the gank. Can they get the jump over that wall? Not sure. There's vision there, so Escanor knows what's coming, but Blau going to join in now. Escanor having to back off, puts down the silence there, puts down the tripwire, and it might catch out Yukino, but turret damage not going to be enough. And now we see Slashing coming in for reinforcement, so KDA needs to back out now, but they don't have the vision. Not sure if Rose even caught Slashing there. Rose going to get caught out in a bad position, in fact, as Slashing just hiding in the bush, waiting. Now going to take that chance to move in, scaring off KDA. But that's all we're going to get for now. And up in the top, we see Scarf coming alongside, trying to stop the gank onto Adagio, but they're not there in time as Lance picks up that kill under the tower. Abomination now going to try move on to Frankenstein, and just leaving them for the 1v1. Lance not actually coming up to save them, but maybe they're fairly certain that Arrow will also be there. They managed to get the kill in the end. So trading back and forth there, we see Inara gonna get caught out in that stun once more, but shouldn't be a problem for now. And with that, they are gonna back out. Could be a bit of pressure on this top side now, as well as the bot lane, as we see Escanor pushing in that wave. Ooh, Blow. Ooh, just a second, there's Fang Lang joining in. But nope, just more back and forth action. So it's really the second game is a lot more close so far. Would you agree on that?
Yeah, the first game we were actually looking at KDA pushing it. Like at the mid game, there was a comeback fight sort of for Root of Rogues, but in the end, KDA managed to just shut it out really a little quickly. And then right now, Root of Rogues and KDA are just trading kills and objectives over to each other. And I think the second game is going a little bit more slowly and smoothly on the side of Root of Rogues.
Yeah, Root of Rogues, I would say you're right there. It does look like they've got the slight advantage, but really, we'll see here as Feng Lang drops down the Versa Judgment, catches out slashing under the tower. There's going to be the core collapse. They manage to take the tower. They're going to be able to pick up the Adagio more than likely. Blower going low, but here comes Abomination. He is going to get stunned out, but no, he stops it with the block and is manages to pick up a kill onto the SLlCE. Mixmac's not done here yet. Going to be able to pick up a return kill onto Blau. Not sure what that was there. The recall just to style on them, and Yukino is going to get away. They're not really going to chase for that, knowing they're not able to pick up the kill. And it's kind of, as I said, Root of Rogues won that one out more so, as they were able to get a tower over the side of KDA. But we'll see here as they actually go into the enemy jungle. Rose going to be able to secure that one for now. I was just looking, did the mid tower fall for Root of Rogues? Because then it might have been tower traded, in fact.
So right now, we are looking at... Oh, I thought Escanor was doing the Ghost Wing. But yeah, still more trading back and forth. Scarf gets pulled in by Arrow. Frankenstein, Solar Storm not going to connect onto anyone. Oh, he actually connects onto Rose, bring him to half HP, just coming out of base. And Bombi, he just got to be passive. The slash singing, trying to get a chase onto Feng Lin with Frankenstein killing and kill securing that one. And Blair will make it run for it with that Rominara. And a kill secured by 3 members of Root of Rogues. And that's 2 for none.
Yep, and well, we're going to see Root of Rogues have an opportunity to go for the Ghost Wing now. Most likely going to start this one up. And it should be able to secure it without any contest, honestly. We'll see Scarf probably try and get vision on it, but I don't think it's a smart idea for Scarf to try go in. More than likely will get taken down if he does. So there's going to be Ghost Wing. Managed to get for all the members of that team. But look at that, SLlCE going very low. Fountain managed to save their life. And Scarf going to chase him down with the Dragon's Breath to pick up the kill. And the double kill, taking down Anka as well. But Root of Rogues aren't done yet. They're going to turn around there as Silvernail takes out the Grace. And Mixmac's going to be able to frontline for their team, but Adagio has not been in the fight at all as he's going to make his way up from the bot lane. Could be able to turn this one around for Team KDA as Arrow is low, goes in, is going to be able to land that fire, but the Githian wall to stun out 3 members of KDA is going to leave Lance alone in this situation and let his teammates escape. But Mixmax trying to get out, not going to be able to do so. Escanor is there trying to put up a fight. Slashing going to come in, going over the wall there. And trying to chase down for now. Rose low on health, low on energy. This is a dangerous situation for KDA where it looked like they were winning, but now Inara are going to get taken down. And they're going to try fight this one out as the Versa Judgment comes out. They managed to get the stun onto Yukino here. But once again, Abomination already with the Dragon's Breath once again. And manages to ignite that goop at the backline there, damaging Root of Rogues and probably forcing them out of this one. All the meanwhile, top wave has been pushing for the side of KDA, and they are going to be able to take that tower just by the minions alone. So really able to win that one, I'd say, going over to KDA, especially when the enemy team had Ghost Wing for most of that.
Slashing in, going really low in bot lane. Yukino trying to find a kill. Slashing in, coming out with the flash. Yukino stuns. And I think Slash Singing might be looking to back off. Oh, wait, he's going to turn around, and the hook on by Arrow doesn't connect onto Feng Lin.
Oh, but here comes Abomination. They need to be careful of that Dragon's Breath. It's not up just yet, but 20 more seconds and it will be. And here comes the rest of KDA down into the bot lane. There's going to be the Reza jumping in on the back line, picking up the kill onto the Anka, onto the Silvernail. Now trying to focus down that Yates, who's the only one left there. SLlCE joining in just a bit too late, and they should be able to take this bot tower tower, but their mid is open. Rose probably going to be able to rotate back up to take care of that one. Abomination bootsing in with the Dragon's Breath, but not able to find anything out of it, so just going to have to turn around and run from that one. Meanwhile, Mixmax, yeah, as I said, Rose able to get there in time to defend this, but Mixmax not really paying any attention to Rose. In fact, more so out-damaging them under their own tower and ignoring them. But seeing as the rest of KDA are coming up now, is going to make the smart decision to back out of this one. Putting some vision down over the Black Claw as well, but it's going to get spotted out by the camera that Reza just placed. So right now, either team should be fighting over that vision. We should see Abomination or Yukino maybe go try clear that one. And the next team fight really could be the one that decides who gets the Black Claw. I'd say it really depends on how many members get taken down here, but we see Adagio getting pulled in, the core collapse not landing onto him, but Anka chases on through for the kill. Solar Storm comes on through as well, and they're going to chase the rest of KDA down. Yukino already low and Rose at half. Half Mixmax just diving into that front line. There's going to be the Yates with the ult onto the back line, and they manage to stun out Yukino, and they should be able to pick up the kill there. Abomination trying to turn around, but gets stunned up by the Giffian wall. Impale not quite gonna connect, but should it be Blower on the Nara getting taken down. Abomination just once again barely missing, getting caught by the Impale, but they get killed in the end as they stick around too long. And only Reza and Adagio left for Team KDA. And as I said, this would be the Black Claw Dragon, but Root of Rogues actually fairly low on HP, might not be able to take this one. As Rose taking down the Anka, could even find Escanor on this one, but he misses with the Scorcher, not going to be able to land the Neverform DNA either. And Frankenstein coming along should be able to help turn this one around. Core Collapse doesn't land, they go for the chase, they get the slow, the Frostburn coming into play here from the Celeste, the Solar Storm to pick up the kill, the shutdown. And Root of Rogues gonna go and push on into this mid tower.
So right now we look at Blair again, and he's going for the same build that he did last match on that Rome Tony. So it's actually quite a surprise to see that. Well, maybe he might be playing something off meta, but goal difference wise isn't too big from both teams, and Blair actually trying to make this work out, and he gets caught in the bush. Speaking about Blair, he goes down getting caught shopping in the bush at the Ghosting Pit.
Oh, Abomination, though, could be able to turn this one. Does get rooted, and there's going to be the Giffian wall into the wall to get the stun and probably secure the kill onto this Scarf. The double kill coming on through for, I believe, the Silver Nail, perhaps, there. And they're going to take down the Ghost Wing once again. Going over to the hands of Root of Rogues. This time Reza being the only one alive for Team KDA. Needs to play this one safe, but really wants to get that steal. In fact, put himself in a bad position. Manages to get over the wall there. Blocks out the silence, but doesn't block out the stun. Gets over the wall with Neverform DNA, but the Anka has the A on them. Misses the blades, but is going to be able to pick up the kill in the end with the chase, with the ult. And that's going to be Ghostwing going into the hands of Rogues, and probably bad for Rose to try and contest that, because now Rogues have the upper hand. It's a 5v4 situation, and they're going to take their advantage. They're going to take the opportunity to try and take the Black Claw. No one has vision on this right now, so it really could go either way. Yukino kind of getting an idea that they might be doing it, but they're not there in time, and that's going to be Black Claw going into the hands of Rogues as well. So KDA really need to stick together to see if they can salvage this game.
So right now we see a little bit of a skirmish near top lane, and back and forth, Arrow misses with his hook, and right now KDA, they have to deal with the whole of a full Ghost Swing. Nope. Rose goes in, gets a little bit low.
There's going to be the Dragon's Breath, but Core Collapse lands onto the Nara, the pool. They managed to get the Impale as well. That should be kill secure, but Reza going to be able to take down the Lance. Here comes Rose for the chase, and Anka does have the A over onto Yukino, but not going to be able to dive in as they have fairly low health. Meanwhile, Black Claw is pushing down lane in mid, and we see Escanor actually making some progress down in the bot lane, at least making sure those minions push on through. So not the most successful push there from Row of Rogues, but where you saw Mixmax actually dive in, and I can't remember who it was. I think it's Blur. They almost took out, but they survived by a sliver of health in that situation, and Mixmax actually got taken down. And that's a point where KDA were able to really turn that fight around for themselves.
So right now we are looking at a 1K goal lead on the side of Root of Rogues. So the goal, this match is really going back and forth. Like a, a few minutes ago, we have KDA with the goal lead. Now we have Root of Rogues with a goal lead.
Ooh,
Mixmax goes
Mixmax.
in the impale and he misses that one.
But
Mikhail
Arrow.
gets put in stun.
There's going to be the... Oh, my... Mixmax gets the Giphian wall once again. Big stun coming on through, but Abomination turning that one around with the Dragon's Breath gets pulled in, and Anka going to get taken down first. There's going to be core collapse onto the back two members of KDA, but they continue to push through, get the double kill onto the Silver Nail, and Celeste will follow, and there's going to be the double kill as they take out the Yates for Ace for KDA, and as you said, a very back and forth game. And look at this movement by KDA, knowing that they're just going to go up to the top lane, tank it. They're already 21 minutes 50 in. They know that they have the damage. They know they have the tank to take this one down. Yukino going to be the one to tank this, and gets through that fairly easily. They're now moving on to the armory, and there's going to be 7 seconds left. KDA could be able to finish this one just off of one fight like that. And what was once such a close game is now KDA onto the Vein Crystal, taking game 2. And what a turnaround there, and just shows that KDA understanding the win conditions and what objectives they need to take in that situation. That's going to be 22-minute game, 23 kills for KDA over to 25. So what looked like a Root of Rogues game in game 2, where it's so close, ends up being a point over to KDA. So in match number 1 overall, taking game 1 and 2 for themselves. And that's going to be 2 points moving on. Looks like we can't look at the scoreboard just yet, but if it comes up, I will swap back for that. But if you SLlCE, if you were able to see the scoreboard, the builds, do you want to talk over them?
Alright, so let's talk about the builds. So right now I'm looking at... Okay, let's talk about Blever's build first, because Blever was the most interesting player right now. So he played something off meta and he managed to make it work somehow. So Blever, he went for the War Threads first. And the thing about the two heroes that Blever played is that they are both good for engaging, right? So Tony, if you catch someone with a trash talk, you can just engage on them. Or like if you knock someone out of position with your ultimate, like your bada boom, and the person gets caught out, you can just War Threads and the whole team jumps on them, right? So that's the perk of having War Threads. And it goes the same for Inara. When Inara has an ultimate and she kicks someone backwards, you just want your whole team to jump on them at the same time. You don't want to have... Okay, so one of the fights that was problematic just now was when Bombination was unleash his Dragon Breath, and only 3 members of KDA were there, but on the side of Root of Rogues, they had 4 and 1 member really close by. And the problem with that is that if you play Inara, KDA should have waited for their whole team to be there, and because they were impatient and they just wanted to try get some kills and some damage over, they ended up trading their own lives for nothing. And so KDA right now, Blair was trying to make some sort of a dive comp. Like he wants to make a fully coordinated team engage comp. Like they are not trying to play pure, they are not trying to play protect the carry. They are going for just straight dive. And amazingly, they managed to make this composition work, which is really interesting. And well, props to them. And as for Root of Rogues, their second game performance has really been a lot better than the first game. Like second game, they were able to still contest. I think they were communicating better on how to rotate and where, like, whether they can make trades based on information they know on the locations of each KDA member. So I feel the second game, it really shows that even in a losing first game, Root of Rogues can still communicate well and try to get their team together and make try to make good trades. But ultimately, there was GG on the side of KDA, and we will be seeing round two shortly.